Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla. So, Elon Musk made an interview with Sandy Munro and confirmed some of the great things about the next generation vehicle, the production method, and where it would be built. And at the same time, we have Tesla restarting the expansion at the Shanghai factory for the next generation vehicle as well. So Tesla is definitely not slowing down like the legacy automakers are, but accelerating and embarrassing the old legacy automakers with their old school technology and showing that there is no way they will be able to keep up with Tesla, let alone catch up. Tesla has hardly begun, but the race is already over. So let's check it all out and let's dive right in. So Sandy did an interview with Elon Musk where Sandy was also blown away by the engineering of the Cybertruck, just like we saw with Jason from Hagerty, but here it is, the car expert of car experts' mind that was blown. Now that is saying something. But another thing that Sandy was able to get confirmation on from Elon Musk that we already knew from Isaacson's book about Elon Musk, that the next generation vehicle will first be built in Texas and then in Mexico afterward. And as Elon said, it would take too long to do it in Mexico.
The thing that's most interesting about this is the production system. It's a level of production technology that is far in advance of any automotive plant on Earth.
I can hardly wait now.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
It's going to be very cool, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think and I should point out that we will be making the first production line will be here in the Gigafactory in Texas, in this facility.
Oh, I thought it was going to be in Mexico or something.
That'll be the second place.
So we kind of got another confirmation for the people that said the next generation vehicle will be delayed because of Tesla's careful approach to starting the building of the Giga Mexico factory. It will not be delayed. The production line is already being worked on, as we know from the book about Elon. And as Elon said, they are quite far in the process, and he reviews the production line plans every week. So this is what I am most excited about when it comes to the next generation vehicle. I don't really care too much about the vehicle itself. It's not going to have a halo effect of the Cybertruck. In that regard, it is going to be a little boring. But the people will get their affordable but good EVs, because this is really the big difference, right? Because here in Europe you can already get an EV for $22,000, the little Dacia Spring. And if you don't know what a Dacia Spring is, well, it's this little crappy EV that got 1 star in safety rating from Europe NCAP and has 140 miles of range and can only charge with 30 kilowatts. Yes, I know. And does a 0 to 100 kilometers in only 19 seconds. No, not 9, 19 seconds. So this is a piece of crap, and people that want one have to pay the equivalent of $22,000 here in my country. So we do have affordable EVs in Europe, but what Dacia Spring is offering is not what people are talking about that they want when they talk about an affordable EV. They want an affordable EV that is also a good EV, and that is where the next generation vehicles from Tesla comes in. But that is the least exciting thing about the next generation vehicle, in my opinion, because the production method of this car is what I can't wait to see and learn more about, because now the old guys are looking at the Cybertruck and say, what, we can't do that, we don't even know how to do that. So now Tesla have moved the goalpost and said, let's get the whole industry to go to 48-volt architecture and steer-by-wire and the modern speed of a CAN system. And while the old guys are now going to be scrambling to catch up with the technology the Cybertruck is offering, and while that will take many years, Tesla is going to come out with a completely new production system that is way above any production system on Earth. And Toyota is just now trying to copy Tesla's production method of yesterday and will not have anything ready before 3 to 4 years with that production method of gigacasting and structural battery pack and so on. So even before Toyota will have a copy of Tesla's old way of doing things, Tesla will have come out with a whole new way of producing a car altogether. And someone like Toyota will stand there with their new way of doing things, with a copy of Tesla's old production method, and be completely left behind. So Toyota is probably thinking they are catching up now, but as I've said many times before, if you are the one copying, you will never be able to catch up. And that is why Elon says the pace of innovation is all that matters. Not the innovation itself, but the pace. And Tesla's pace of innovation is just so fast that Toyota, which is known for their great production system, their next great production method will be obsolete before they even get a vehicle to market with that production method. Because Tesla will probably have the next generation vehicle ready by the end of 2025, maybe the beginning of 2026. Tesla's pace is just mind-boggling. Tesla just reinvented the car with the Cybertruck, kind of embarrassing the old guys who thought they were catching up to Tesla, but now Tesla comes out with this vehicle that has steer-by-wire, 48-volt architecture and CAN bus with insane speeds. Or actually, not insane, but comparing to what the old guys are using with the 500 kilobit CAN speed, Tesla seems light years ahead with their 1 million kilobyte CAN speed. But Tesla is just taking modern technology and putting it into their cars, where the old guys are using the same technology in their cars as they did 60 years ago. Kind of embarrassing. No wonder that Jim Farley apparently have asked Sandy if he had got his hand on the Cybertruck yet, because Jim really wants to learn everything he can about this beast. And Jim Farley did confirm on X that he has received the memo from Tesla about how to build a 48-volt architecture car. So that is now confirmed as well, that Tesla really did send this out to all the CEO of all automakers in the world. But all of this technology that Tesla has learned from the Cybertrucks are going to be put into the next generation vehicle. Remember, both production lines are in Austin factory, so the engineers for both cars have been able to walk around together, talk to each other, and share the knowledge on the floor as they test out these systems. So of course the next generation vehicle will have steer-by-wire, maybe even brake and accelerated by wire to make the unboxed production even more efficient, and 48-volt architecture and 1 gigabit CAN speed, because this will reduce the wiring and therefore also the weight of the vehicle tremendously, making Tesla's next generation vehicle very, very light, as it will also be a much smaller car as well, so it does not need a lot of batteries to come with a standard range of 250 miles. Remember, the new refreshed Model 3 standard range get 343 miles of range on 18-inch wheels, which is a much bigger and heavier car than the next generation vehicle will be, and that refreshed Model 3 only has 57 kilowatt hours of battery inside it. So with a car that will be even more efficient than the Tesla Model 3, because it will be lighter, smaller, with smaller wheels, we should expect that car to be much more efficient. But the new refreshed Model 3 get up to about 6 miles per kilowatt hour in the standard range version. So if the next generation vehicle has the same kind of efficiency, the next gen should be able to get 250 miles, and I think this is the lowest that Tesla will go in range with a 41 kilowatt hour battery pack. But if the next generation vehicle will be more efficient, and I think it will, and just get, let's say, 1 mile more per kilowatt hour, Tesla could make a version with only 35 kilowatt hour batteries inside, but still get 250 miles of range. Then the battery itself would be 38% more affordable for Tesla to make than for the Tesla Model 3 standard range. And then the whole car will of course be much faster to assemble than the other Teslas, or any other car on the planet for that matter, with their new unboxed production method. So for Tesla, Tesla to get this thing out the door and be able to sell it for $25,000 with a good margin seems highly likely. And because we know it will first be built in the Austin factory, we could maybe see this thing coming off the production line within the next 2 years. Because if Elon is saying the Mexico factory would take too long, well, 2 years would not be completely impossible for the Mexico factory. If they start building that factory in the first half of 2024, then by the beginning of 2026, they might be able to have a factory ready in Mexico. So that makes me confident that they will be able to come out with the next generation vehicle from the Austin factory before 2026. But we still have to wait and see, of course. But he also said that the Mexico factory would be the second factory to build the next generation vehicle. But he did think about it a little bit, because of course it will not only be Texas and Mexico factory that will be building this thing.
That'll be the second place.
The expansion in the Berlin factory, in my opinion, will of course be building the next compact car for the European market, as that will be a very big hit here. And with half the production footprint and the expansion being twice the size at phase 1 in the Berlin factory, we should expect the Berlin to be able to produce about 1.5 to 2 million of the next generation vehicle in that factory alone, as I talked about in another video. But it doesn't stop there. We just got a report that Tesla is planning to restart the construction of the third phase of the Giga Shanghai factory, which should be dedicated to produce the new $25,000 vehicle as well, local media reported. And again, I can't see any other vehicle Shanghai would be making in this expansion than the next generation vehicle. That would also be a very well received in China, as they love their small electric vehicles over there as well. I don't know the size of the expansion, so I can't really speculate on some good data there, what the production capacity is going to be. But before the halt of the expansion of the Shanghai factory back in 2022, we did hear about 500,000 units. So that would probably be the low end of what we should expect from this expansion. Remember, Tesla also started the Shanghai factory by saying it would only have a capacity of 500,000 units, and so far from January to November, it has already produced 853,603 units. So it should have a production run rate of 1.1 million by now. So twice as much as Tesla originally said it would be able to do. So I think Tesla might be sandbagging the expansion as well. But we will no doubt have the next generation vehicle coming out of Austin, Mexico, Berlin, and Shanghai. So Tesla's production capacity of this vehicle, when everything is built and ramped up, well, we are probably talking somewhere between 5.5 to 7 million units a year. Just for this model, just for the factories we already know about. I know that sounds kind of insane for one model, and many people will say this will never happen, just like they said the Shanghai factory would never happen, and the Cybertruck would never be built, and the Model Y was vaporware. But here we are, the Cybertruck has just reinvented what a car is, and the Model Y is the best-selling car in the world. So don't listen to all the naysayers. They have been wrong about Tesla from the very beginning.
I really believe that the sedan is absolute vaporware. There is no way that Tesla has the cash on hand in order to be able to truly develop their own sedan.
This is the first mass-manufactured electric car. This is something that is...
They've got a prototype that they're going to show, and they're going to start taking deposits, which I find just an amazing act of God.
And Tesla continues to do what they say can't be done. So I really think that the analyst that thinks that Tesla will only be able to do 10 million vehicles in 2030 are not really doing the calculation of what Tesla could do with the next generation vehicle and how fast they are able to do it. Without the Tesla van that we know are coming, and without the semi-truck, just the models we know about today and the plans we know about. So without the next many factories that Tesla is working on, maybe one in India and other places, Tesla could get to 10 million units just with the things we already know about. And remember, as Elon also talked about in the interview with Sandy, Tesla has 2,000 acres of land in Texas. So the Texas factory right now is only a fraction of that land. And he did not, when Sandy talked about Giga Texas factory also being only phase 1 of the Texas factory. So we will see a lot more coming out of Texas down the road, and already next year we will see Tesla make their own lithium from the lithium refinery in Texas as well, making their materials for their Tesla battery even more affordable again. So I know not many believe that Tesla will be able to do 20 million units a year, but with the old legacy automakers actually backing down now and slowing down their EV plans, I only get more and more confident that this is possible, as legacy automakers will be far from what they are today in units in 2030 for their electric vehicles. So Tesla and the Chinese will only see this as an opportunity to grab even more market share. And Tesla is not slowing down, even though the other guys are crying about demand problems. Tesla is working on their expansion in Berlin and now restarting the expansion in the Shanghai factory as well. And Mexico is still on the table. Tesla is just waiting for the market and the economy to stabilize a bit more before they pull the trigger on this behemoth of a factory. But Tesla is not pulling back or slowing down, but the old guys are. And Tesla will come out with a car that from the outside will look like a nice little Tesla, but the production and technology behind it is what people don't see, and that is what's going to make the old legacy automakers obsolete, and making it even more impossible to compete with Tesla than it already is today. Volkswagen was out last week saying that they are no longer competitive on price, and Tesla is about to take their production to a level never seen before in the automotive industry, cutting costs in half, and the others are not even ready with something that can compete with Tesla's old method and price before Tesla has the next gen on the road. It will be a slaughter of the old guys, as they will hardly be ready this decade with something competitive to what Tesla has today, and Tesla will have the next level ready in only a couple of years. So yeah, Tesla has hardly begun, but the race is already over. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.